interwebs have fired up out there. Okay, we are live on Twitter. Folks, welcome to Gamcast for Tuesday evening. We're here to talk about Kamala revealing that she's literally the dumbest person to ever run for president. I mean, I'm not kidding about that. We're going to explain that in detail. We're going to talk about her comments on the Call Me Daddy podcast about does the government have laws that regulate men's bodies, okay? The obvious answer is yes, and you can probably think of quite a few yourself, but there's a glaring one there. And just basically where we are as a culture, that two people have a conversation like this, and they're not just wrong, but they're so smug about it. They're just imbecilic. Now, this girl here, I don't know who she is. I don't know who to call her Daddy Cast. I'm not criticizing her. A content creator like me, God bless her, Godspeed. She's very successful, it appears. But she is an imbecile. Now, that is one thing. But it is another thing that if you live in a bubble, that you ask a question this idiotic, that you later, and today, I guarantee you this happened just a day or two ago, she has no clue what I'm about to tell her. But anyway, here's the question that she posed to Kamala. And again, what's with the cackle? This is supposed to be a serious topic. Even the little child here has like a serious look on her face because she thinks it's something really serious and sinister. But Kamala thinks it's funny. Anyway.
I want to pose this question more to you and the Daddy Gang, but one of the biggest conversations in this year's election revolves around a woman's body.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to take a moment, and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision?
I know what you're going to ask.
About
what's funny? What's funny?
Body.
No.
Is there any law?
No.
Okay, now that's imbecilic. All you need to do is look around at, frankly, the government has, in my opinion, as a libertarian, way too much control over our bodies, okay? And if you don't believe me, why don't you go somewhere, get in your car, go down to a bar, drink 4 or 5 drinks, and then go run down the highway speed limit or break some other law and see if they have control over your body. You watch and see. They definitely do. But the big glaring one here, folks, is presumably, to be fair, they must mean, well, only a law that is only directed at men, right? Not all these laws, because, the prisons would basically not even need to exist if they couldn't lock men up, because it's 99.9% men. But then there's the Selective Service. Now, anybody could have told her this, any male, because I had to register for the Selective Service quite a long time ago. I'm nowhere near eligible for the draft at this point, but when I was 18, I had to take my butt down to the Postal Service to register, because here it is right here, folks, just in case you didn't know, only applies to men, by the way. Men have only ever been drafted for wars in this country 4 times, right? World War I, World War II, Civil War, and Vietnam at a minimum, maybe Korea as well. So, again, this is just idiotic, but if required to register legal service, if you're a man over 18, you are, failure to register is a felony punishable by 5 years in prison and $250,000. And as an extra added benefit, you will not be eligible for government benefits. Okay, folks? Yeah, they regulate men's bodies. And again, I promised a real quick primer here on the 14th Amendment. They're not regulating women's bodies. If the fetus, and I'm not saying this, I'm not taking any opinion on abortion, but you need to understand the facts. That's why you listen to this podcast, okay? The reason you can regulate, not regulating a woman's body like you are with the draft. And by the way, one of the most controversial things in American history is the draft. I don't have time to get into it, but just trust me on that. You should have common sense to know that, right? Here it is right here, 14th Amendment, Section 1. Very important, all right? No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person, life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Folks, by law, if the fetus, and I'm not saying it is, but at whatever point you believe it becomes a living being, it is an American citizen, according to the 14th Amendment, it has rights. You can't just kill it. That's all there is to it. We don't have laws regulating women's esophaguses or their ankles or their feet. We don't do that because there's no interest there. There's no other potential person. That's the basics behind abortion, okay? And this didn't used to be controversial, folks. And again, I'm not taking any position on that, but now you know all of it. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you do, you'll see me on the next one, which tomorrow, I've been promising a lot of y'all I was going to cover Can You Yell Fire in a Crowded Theater? Yes, you can. I'm going to do it tomorrow unless something bigger comes up. It was on the schedule for today. This came up. Anyway, do all those things I said, please. It'll help me, and do it for other content creators you enjoy as well. Thanks.